So I thought we could do a little fall themed triggers and a little chat. Start getting cozy. Of course, we have this Halloween blanket. Look at the little ghosties. This one looks like she's singing in the ghost choir. It's her big moment. I do have that little cozy blanket if you would like it. I do also have this dog blanket or Halloween like very large. If you would like it. Yeah, of course, of course. Perfect. Good. Curl up. Let's get cozy. There, I had to readjust because I felt too far away from you. A candle. Look at the cute little lid. Little ghost cat. Poison. A witch's hat. A skull. A jack-o'-lantern. And a moon. This is witch's brew. Oh my gosh. It's like pumpkin and cinnamon, I think. You like the smell? Yeah, I got this for $7.99. A steal. For how fast I go through candles. I love a Bath & Body Works candle, but I cannot justify spending $30 on a candle that's gonna last me a week. Like, I can't do it. But, okay. Let's light this one. Some crackly sounds. Crackly, 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 crackly. Witch's brew, witch's brew, witch's brew, witch's brew. It smells so good. That's the perfect way for us to start in the evening, don't you think? Oh, I just love fall candles. That is one of my favorite things about fall is the smells. Like, my favorite smells are fall smells. It's apple and cinnamon and crisp, 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 crisp. kind of figured that's how you would feel. So I actually prepared you an iced coffee. Still kind of fall flavored, but iced. In the cutest little fall cup. With foxes, a wolf, a moose, an owl, and a bear. I know, isn't this the cutest cup? I got this from Cracker Barrel. A while ago. But I loved that it was stainless steel. Keeps my drinks cold. But I still feel like fall because of the colors and the critters. The colors and the critters. Here you go. You like it? I'm just gonna set it right over here for you. You grab it whenever you want. What is it? I actually brought the bag as well. This is my favorite coffee. It is brewed here in Florida. If you're here from Krista ASMR channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have other spooky friends here. I think it's so funny how similar her and I are. I loved her Bones Coffee haul video because I was like, I've tried that one, oh, I haven't tried that one. Like, I just love her content, so very thankful to have you here, and I love Bones Coffee, so Krista, I hope you loved it, because it's my favorite. But the one that I made you, this is salty siren. This mystical flavor sings entrancing songs of caramel, chocolate, and sea salt. A delicious brew that you'll have no choice but to fall in love with. One of the things I love is they have this little smell me little thing that you can squeeze the bag and smell the coffee. You wanna try? Oh, doesn't it smell amazing? And the classic Bones guy on here. And his little siren friend. This video is not sponsored by Bones, but they do have a subscription, and I use their subscription because I make cold brew from these, and their subscription is a lot cheaper, and I get 6 bags, I think, every maybe 2 or 3 months, and I usually will make like one large, like this big, glass mason jar of cold brew. I usually can make 2 with one bag, and one of those jars usually lasts me a week. So, plus I love supporting a small business, and I love their packaging. I'm very excited to see their fall flavors. I'm a sucker for caramel, so anything that has caramel in it, I'm like, sign me up. But very excited. I would think they would start coming out with those pretty soon, so I'll have to try them. My current favorites are Highland Grog, which is butterscotch and caramel, and pages. I don't know if you can see that, but they're not all even, which I think adds a lot of character to the book. And there are little pictures in here as well. Little pictures. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the lonesome library of the haunted mansion. In this bone-chilling book, you will read the terrifying tales of the fearsome foursome, four kids who try to outscare each other with frightening fictions of their own. But just wait until they hear my spooky stories. Who am I? I am Amicus Arcane, your librarian and host, your ghost host. So read on if you dare. Okay. Welcome to our library. Stop reading. You heard me. Put this book down this instant. Put it back where you found it. For your own sake, I beseech you. You are not the type. No, we're daredevils. If you look on the artwork here, it's some ghosts. It looks like coffee stains, and ghosts are sliding into our story. We're going to continue. What type is that? Our type. Still here. Very well. Can't say we didn't warn you. Welcome, foolish reader, to the illustrations library of, well, you know where you are. Allow me to introduce myself. I am your guide, Amicus Arcane, the sole librarian and entrusted keeper of 999 bone-chilling tales. Every spirit has a story, you see, a haunted history, dying to get out, so it can follow you home. But heed this warning, we're always on the lookout for one more tale, perhaps even yours. Well, if you haven't guessed, we are known in the parlance of the living as spirits, specters, poltergeists, apparitions, or, if you prefer, ghosts. We are at our most spirited amongst the books, harboring a special affinity for those tales that burrow under the flesh, long after their authors have departed their corruptible mortal vessels. In this way, books themselves are rather like ghosts. Their very bindings contain the spirits of the dead, and that means this terrifying tome is haunted, which means this isn't merely a big book you're holding, but an actual ghost. And that brings us to the subject at hand, the fearsome foursome. Their little club, you see, was also interested in ghosts and zombies and mummies and just about everything that goes bump in the night. Their founding body consisted of Willa, Tim, Noah, and Steve, 4 middle school students with a talent for storytelling and an appetite for the macabre. Their one goal, to frighten the wits out of each other with the scariest stories they could muster. A lofty goal, if I may say so myself, but this week their meeting was abruptly cancelled. As it happens, their clubhouse was ravaged by a violent storm. Perhaps we had something to do with it. Who can say? My memory isn't what it used to be since that coroner removed my brain. The important thing to take with you is that the fearsome foursome had no place to tell their tales, so we provided them with a home, a bit off the beaten path, I will admit, but you can always take the shortcut through the graveyard. It's almost time for you to meet them. You see, I too have a tale or two or three or four that I'm dying to share. Once they heard them, their lives were never the same, nor will yours. We have more of that artwork here. Chapter 1. The Fearsome Foursome. It all began at a lunch table where a good number of friendships are born. Willa was reading Poe's Tales of Mystery and Suspense, a dog-eared paperback containing classic stories written about 1,000,000 years ago. The wording could be tricky, but once you got used to it, you'd be treated to the finest horror stories ever put to paper. More important, Willa was reading because she liked to read, not because it was assigned. And really, who reads anymore besides you, that is? Tim was passing the table, balancing a tray of what could generously be described as a macaroni item, when the cover caught his attention. It featured a black cat with a missing eyeball drooling something red. You know, one of those covers you can't take your eyes off of, or, in the case of that particular black cat, eye singular. Tim made a beeline for Willa. Maybe it was her book, or her hair, which could be best described as seasonal. Not the cut, but the color. Those days it was blue, matching Willa's eyes. Tim cleared his throat before opening with a compliment. That is so sick. Willa glanced up over her shoulder. Excuse me? I have the same book, he said. Only mine has a raven on it. Tim slipped his hand into a New York Yankees backpack and pulled out his copy of Poe's Tales. Willa was momentarily impressed until she spotted the word abridged under the title. You got ripped off, she said. Abridged means they cut things out, usually the good parts, like when they show Beast Feast on TV. You need to get the uncut version. She went back to her Poe, not coincidentally, the uncut version. But Tim hung around like a puppy, waiting for Willa to finish her page. Again, she glanced back. May I help you? My name's Tim. He extended his hand, and Willa shook it, almost breaking it. She wasn't a tomboy or anything. She was just stronger and faster, but not smarter on that score. Willa and Tim were in the same league. Willa, she finally conceded. Tim took the initiative, asking her if she knew his pals, Noah and Steve. She'd heard of Steve, of course. Who hadn't? Steve had a reputation for being a bad boy, which he wasn't. But like it or not, looks went a long way in middle school, and Steve certainly looked the part. Noah looked his part as well. He was a chubby, red-headed geek she remembered from recent science fair debacle, the band Dinosaurs vs. Teachers exhibit. They're really into horror, too. She looked surprised. Steve's into horror. You wouldn't think so, I know. He's one of the cool kids. Willa shot him a look that suggested he was about to get decked. Not that you're not cool, he quickly added, fearing for his life. Steve-O got me into Poe. He turned his paperback on its side, showing her Steve's name written in marker. Noah's into Lovecraft. Ever hear of him? Willa nodded. H.P. Lovecraft, the writer, Providence's own, of course. Tim was bubbling with excitement, or maybe it was the macaroni item. We're starting a club for horror lovers only. Right now, it's just the three of us, but there's always room for one more. Willa instantly took to the idea. Horror lovers were in short supply those days. You mean like a reader's circle? More like a storyteller's circle. Team Linden, suddenly serious. We don't just read scary stories, we invent them. That brought Willa to her feet. She was about 3 inches taller than Tim on a good day. It was a good day. Scary is what I do, she said. I'm going to be a horror writer when I grow up. If you grow up, Willa. If. Does that mean you're in? Does a vampire drink blood? She replied. Tim raised his hand for a high five, fearing a second handshake might send him to the emergency room. Slap. Ouch. They exchanged smiles, the first of many. Tim recognized her as one of his own. That's what a club is, after all. A group of people who like the same things you do. Not to mention, Willa was a girl. One day he might recognize that too. During the walk home from school, Willa met Noah and Steve for their approval. Their first order of business was coming up with a name for their club. After passing on Club Wretched and the Frightmare Fraternity, they officially settled on the Fearsome Foursome. And every week after that, barring sickness, funerals, holidays, and funerals, did I say funerals twice? Willa, Tim, Noah, and Steve gathered to exchange tales of ghosts, ghouls, and graveyards. In no time at all, they became more than a club. They became like a family united by all things spooky. That brings us to one particularly important night. About 100 stories later, thunder cracked, and lightning flashed. It was a night tailor-made for tale